So we're going to look today at expanding our knowledge on factoring. We're looking at factoring trinomials today. And so first thing we need to do is identify our A, B, C's in our standard form. So we have our any function, or our quadratic function, is going to be ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is the coefficient in front of the x squared, b is going to be the coefficient in front of the x, and c is going to be your constant. So when we multiply a times c, we're going to make a list of all of their factors so that we can compare that with our middle term and see which one adds up to whatever our a times c is. So let's do some practice. Okay, so here we have a trinomial, x squared plus 7x plus 12, and we need to take this 7x right here and we need to split it up into two terms. So we're looking at our a is 1, c is going to be our constant, so c is 12, a times c, so a times c is equal to 1 times 12, which is 12. So we want all of the factors of 12. So if we look at the factors of 12, we have 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. I believe that's all of them. Okay. So now we're going to decide which of these two are going to add up to b. Well, b is 7. So if we look at all of the factors, 1 plus 12 does not equal 7. 2 plus 6 does not equal 7, but 3 plus 4 does equal 7. So that's the combination of numbers that we're going to be looking at. So we're going to split up our 7x so that we get x squared plus, and then we're going to use 3 and 4, but we're splitting up our 7x as a 3x and a 4x. So whatever the variables were on that middle term, we're going to keep that when we split it. So then plus 12 for our constant. So if you're watching, this 7x is now 3x plus 4x. And then with these four terms here, we're going to go ahead and plug this into our box method that we did in the last video. So here's the equation split up. Let's go ahead and fill in our factor this using our box method. So filling on the inside boxes, we get x squared, 3x, 4x, and 12. Then we're looking for the greatest common factors to factor out of each piece. So on the bottom, the 4x and the 12, they both have a 4 in common. The next piece, x squared and 3x, they have an x in common, that's it. Our next boxes, we have x squared and 4x. They also have an x in common. And then our next boxes, we have 3x and 12. They have a 3 in common. So our factored form for this polynomial is going to be x plus 4 times x plus 3. Let's go ahead and look at our next example. Again, please pause, like any other video, if you'd like to try the problem on your own and check your work. Okay, so first step, we need to identify what our a, b, and c are. So we have a is right here, that's 1, b is 4, and c is negative 12. So with that information, we're looking at a times c, so 1 times a negative 12 is negative 12. So for our factors of 12, we have the same ones that we had before, so 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4, except we want a negative 12. We want our answer to be negative 12. So one of those pairs, one of the numbers in each of those pairs has to be negative. So let's visit really quick our b value. Our b value is a positive 4. So if we're adding positive and a negative together, and we need a positive answer, then our bigger number needs to be the positive, And our smaller number needs to be the negative, so this is where all of our negatives would go. And we need to figure out which of those is going to give us a positive 4. So if you're looking through, negative 1 plus 12 is going to be 11, so it's not 4. Negative 2 plus positive 6 is 4, so that's the one we're going to go with. So we're going to have a negative 2 and 6, positive 6. Okay. So when we split up our equation, we get x squared minus 2x plus 6x minus 12. We're going to use that to fill in our box. Okay, so, so we get x squared, negative 2x, positive 6x, and a negative 12. Okay, factoring out our greatest common factors at the bottom, we're going to have a 6. Next will be x. Here we have x and negative 2. So our our final answer in factored form is x plus 6 times x minus 2. Last example. Sometimes before we're able to factor, we need to make sure to look for that greatest common factor. I know that's a big thing that gets skipped, so we need to be careful with that. So if you notice 2x squared plus 10x plus 12, all of the terms are even, which means that 2 goes into all of them. So I'm going to start by factoring out a 2. So if I factor out a 2, I'm left with x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now we're going to focus on 1x squared plus 5x plus 6 in our in our box method to factor. So starting off with a and c. A is 1, and we're going to multiply that with c, which is 6. So 1 times 6 is 6. All of the factors would be 1 times 6, 2 times 3. And we're looking for the combination that gives us our b value. B is 5. So we're looking at 2 plus 3 is 5. So when we split up our equation, we're still going to have the 2 hanging out front because that's part of our answer. We're going to get x squared, and then our 5x is going to split up into 2 and 3x. So plus 2x plus 3x plus 6. And then that's what we're going to fill into the box. So we get x squared, 2x, 3x, and 6. Pause the video and try these on your own so that you can check and see if you get the same answer. So the first factor I'm going to get is on the bottom is going to be a 3. Here I'm going to get an x, and a 2. Always go back and multiply to make sure that your answer is correct. So our final answer in fully factored form is still going to have the 2 out front because that was one of the things that we had factored out already. Then our factors that we got were x plus 3 and x plus 2. That would be our final answer.